This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Michigan. I'm here with Lifewave. Since 2004, they have been driven by innovation and proven by science. This patented life technology company is dedicated to maximizing your potential by wearing your wellness. I am joined here with anti-aging ambassador as well as brand partner, Julie. Thanks so much for joining us here today. I'm going to start off a little bit about yourself. After a 40-year career in telecom sales with Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, and more, you retired. But your strong work ethic, really in the past, has driven you to secure a better life, is still motivating you today to help others. Share with me how you found out, first of all, about LifeWave.
Thank you so much for that question. Interestingly enough, a good friend of mine who had been around the direct sales industry for a number of years, she reached out to me and she shared with me that she'd found something that was really helping herself and her family with their health and wellness. And, given that I was retired and looking to spend more time taking better care of myself, it just resonated with me. Finally having the time and energy to focus on myself and my family and the timeliness of it, to be truthful, was there were issues with health and the concerns.
Excellent. So, really, a personal story for you, something that really resonated with you, like you say. The Fountain of Youth is a mythical spring that was said to restore youth. Today, with technology, it seems this is more possible than ever before. Are you amazed? Were you amazed at the testimonials that you heard when you got involved?
Absolutely. Some of these stories, as you say, they sound too good to be true. But for me personally, I've experienced some pretty miraculous things myself. To be candid, as you said, I had retired from my career a little prematurely. I wasn't really ready to stop working. And so I was looking for a financial opportunity, and that's what attracted me to this company to begin with. Um, so I saw the financial opportunity, and then I thought, well, if I'm going to represent this, I need to be familiar with the product. So I began using it, and incredible things happened. My sleep improved, my skin improved, my energy improved. I started playing the best tennis of my life at 59 years old. And I was just kind of blown away. And then fast forward, here I sit, you know, this at this time, after all these years, 5.5 years of using the technology, my vision has improved as confirmed by my doctor. I wasn't looking for that. I've worn glasses since I was in fourth grade, but now my vision's improving and I'm excited about what's possible.
Wow. Obviously, it's very easy to promote and talk about something you believe in that you've experienced yourself, so it comes pretty natural for you. Honestly, we all want vitality, to be active, to sleep better. Why is wellness important to you? And do you think it seems to be more important to consumers today, maybe than more than ever before?
I really do. If you think about it, again, about the time I got involved with this company, COVID, a pandemic, a once in a lifetime cataclysmic health concern. And we're still experiencing some fallout from that today. Now more than ever, they're just waking up to the fact that it is important to take care of yourself. You need to protect your immune system. You need to protect your brain health. All these things, that we kind of take for granted when we're young, but as we age, they're pretty much front and center. They really are. And by the way, they're costly. If you have a concern that lands you in a hospital or even in assisted living, a lot of that is, your time. What's your time worth? Never mind the cost of care.
A lot of us work hard to be financially secure, and then to find out our health is the one that takes that financial security away from us. Very sad. The product of LifeWave is probably unlike anything the public really has seen before, providing the ability to wear your wellness. This is literally a patch that you wear. Explain to the public kind of what that means.
Sure. So a lot of times because of my background in telecom, I liken it to a Fitbit or an Apple Watch. I mean, that has transformed the health and wellness industry because you can monitor your vitals, your blood pressure, your heart rate. So if you think about it from that perspective and how that adoption rate has exploded, it kind of makes sense that if you can wear something on your skin that just simply reflects the light of the body's own infrared light back into the body and help it heal. I mean, that light has been healing for years, hundreds and thousands of years. And so it just naturally resonates and there's no side effects, no contraindications. It's like if you walk in the sun, you get vitamin D. Everyone's familiar with that. So that's essentially how it works. It's amazing.
I mean, I have personally worn these myself. I know they're very easy to use. You really can wear them on the skin really anywhere. How long are these kept on for? Kind of explain that.
Sure. So yeah, I'm glad you're familiar with them. We are seeing an amazing amount of adoption of this technology. So the recommended use is 12 hours on and 12 hours off. And that's just purely because they are sending a signal into the body, reflecting light. And it's like anything, if you leave it on for longer than 12 hours, 18 hours, the body stops seeking the signal. It just becomes accustomed to it. So that's why we have that recommended use. The truth is, you can sleep in them, you can swim in them, you can wear them for 24 hours, but you do want to take them off and allow the body to reset and then continue to seek that signal for the ultimate healing.
I can't think of too many things that are that easy. I mean, quite honestly, a very limited amount of engagement we need with that. I mean, so are there multiple patches and do each deliver specific benefits?
Yes, we have a complete comprehensive portfolio. As you mentioned, the patches were originally developed in 2002, 2003 timeframe, came to the market in 2004 after being used with the U.S. Navy SEALs. Our CEO and founder, David Schmidt, had a relationship with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and that organization was looking for something for the SEALs because, they fly these incredible missions. They're awake for days on end. They don't sleep well. Some of them are submerged underwater in submarines for months on end. And they unfortunately were using medications that were causing them some severe health concerns. So that's how the technology came about. So we do have the energy enhancers, which do just that. They also help with some weight loss, burn calories, just a few benefits. And then once you take them off, you sleep like a baby. So fast forward, we've got a patch that helps with the immune system, glutathione, if you're familiar with it. It is a peptide in the body that the body makes naturally. However, as we age, we lose that capacity as our cells age. And so that's why PubMed has said that as we age and this peptide subsides, we start to become ill. We start to have dis-ease. We start to have problems with balance, and a fall can be a catastrophic concern. So that's an example of one that's really designed to help restore your body to that natural ability to heal itself. So yes, we have Silent Nights for sleep. Eon is our amazing patch for inflammation. Most illnesses or disease in the body result in inflammation, which is where the pain comes from. So you have to decongest, get that out of there, and that's how the pain can be subsided. We also have an amazing product that is exclusively for pain management. It works within a matter of seconds. And the real beauty of this technology, as you said, is, if you do, like, for example, for me, they give me energy to the point where I feel like I'm actually having a hot flash. I just simply remove them to set them aside. And then once I hydrate and get myself calmed down or in front of a fan or whatever it takes to neutralize, I replace it. It's amazing. It's very simple to use, as you say. And again, you can't untake a pill. So it's really a modern day miracle.
Wow, it really is. I mean, it's very simple for the user, yet there's some serious technology going on that we grasp, try to understand. I mean, obviously the science can be complicated. but how is it delivering through the skin? That has to be a common question. I mean, how do you explain phototherapy? I mean, this has been around for some time, yet this is quite unique approach.
It is. It has been around for some time. However, let's face it, we live in a country where every commercial you see on TV for Big Pharma is all these contraindications and all, it's a 5 minute diatribe on all the issues that can happen if you use the medication that's being featured. And that's been going on for about 18, almost 20 years. Those commercials have been legalized. And so it's hard to ignore them. And when you're sitting in the recliner and you're in pain or you can't sleep, or you have some sort of a, concern, it's just easy to say, I'm gonna go to the doctor and get that. But unfortunately, all those side effects can be very, very concerning. And I've seen them in real life. They really do
Yeah.
happen to people. They really do. I mean, as I described it to a friend, you know, you put these products, these pharmaceuticals come into the market. They do a test state case on 10,000 people, which is a good sample. Then when they roll them out to the masses, they start to see, wow, that 3% of concern is now an 8% concern. Now we're seeing children of people who use these medications have some concerns, like such as autism, things like that. So the side effects are now becoming real in people's lives. And for that reason, they are searching for something that is safe, that is good for the environment, and from a
Right.
company who's got an amazing humanitarian background. These are the things that are important to people. We're refinding our faith and we're regrouping as family. And as we do that, we're just finding that this naturally networks because we all care about our family, our kids, our grandkids, and our financial wherewithal. It really is a no-brainer.
Absolutely. I've had companies approach me, want to put their product on my show, and I tell them, send me the list of side effects. And normally it's a list that's so long that I have to decline because of the fact that I really don't want to be pushing something out there that you have one issue and then you take this magic pill and you end up having 15 other issues. I just don't understand the common sense to that. So, I mean, these patches, they're using the heat our body emits and they're designed to trap this infrared energy that reflects it back to stimulate specific points on the skin. What are some of the stories you have heard now that you've been involved, maybe even from people that you've introduced the product to?
Well, I'll use my husband as an example. He
Okay.
is one of the reasons that I found this technology. He's a lifelong athlete. He's always been extremely active, and he's had a number of surgeries. He had a rotator cuff injury, and he did not like the way the medications made him feel when he was in the hospital. When he came home, he decided he didn't want to take that medication, and he was in so much pain. He literally said he told me if he'd had a gun, he would have taken his own life. That's how much pain he was in. That was, 15 years ago. Then he's also had knee replacement surgery, you know, and then about 12 years ago, he had back fusion surgery. He has two 6-inch rods and 11 screws in his back. And each of those surgeries, he believes they need to be repeated. And he does not want any more surgery. So when I found this technology, I wasn't sure that he would embrace it. So I snuck them on him. I placed them in his shoes. I placed them inside his pillowcase. I did what I had to do because if you're in pain, it's miserable. But if you're living with someone in pain, it's hard to watch. They don't feel like doing anything. They don't feel like
Oh,
coming to the table. They want you to bring their dinner to bed. It's tough to watch. And so after about 6 or 8 months, he said, "What are these little things I'm finding everywhere?" And I said, "How do you feel?" He goes, "Just tell me what they are." I said, "Well, they're for pain and sleep and hopefully help you stop snoring." And so he said, "Okay, well, let's do this." So he said, "Patch me up." And I patched him on his ankle, on his knee, everywhere there on on his lower extremity, everywhere that was in pain. And after about 15 minutes, I said, "How do you feel?" And he said, "I feel like I've just drank an entire bottle of red wine. I feel fantastic." So that's how
Wow.
quickly they worked. And
Wow.
he was, I mean, and he's been a committed follower ever since.
That is a great story. I mean, you watch it evolve little by little, keeping it secret. He was stubborn. He didn't want to use what they were giving him. It wasn't working. I don't like how I feel. And all of a sudden, he realizes something's helping him. That is a great story. That's exactly what I wanted. I mean, although this is groundbreaking new technology, phototherapy has been used to improve health for centuries. Like I said, it reflects back on us. That's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting, but like you say, big pharmacy, they have big money. And so basically their message gets out there before our message does. And so this is definitely my goal is to get the message out there to the public. The X39 patch is a new approach to improving the way your body fosters the flow of energy for improvements in strength, stamina, and so much more. Can consumers order right on the website, and will setting up a subscription actually save you some money?
Absolutely. Um, Certainly you can order directly from my website. That's optimal. However, I really do take a more customized approach with my clients. I like to make sure they're getting the most value and really help them, set expectations about what changes they can expect, just realistic expectations. As an example, the CEO, David Schmidt, and the countless number of doctors in this company, we have, since I joined the company, just slews of doctors have come on board. The recommended solution is to use the patches for a minimum of 90 days and to determine how long you should expect to use them before seeing significant results. Use them for 30 days for every decade of age that you are. So, for example, if you're 60, you want to commit to 90 days and then you want to give it about 6 months. And then the last question I get is, well, when you stop using them, will you go back to, being in the condition that you were? Well, let's face it, that's sort of how life goes. If you're taking a medication and you stop taking it, you're probably going to go back to having whatever symptoms you were having that the medication was helping with. So for me personally and my family, I will use these patches as long as I'm blessed to be alive because I know the benefit of them. For example, I fell and hurt my tailbone. I had to go to physical therapy. My physical therapist said, "I've never seen anyone heal this quickly." He said, "I'd love to recommend another 6 weeks of therapy, but you're good." And I was like,
Yep.
"Okay, great." So the benefits are they're exponential. They really are. And there's no reason. I mean, I say every day, if you can't afford this, they're the price of a cup of Starbucks. If you can't afford this, you might want to look at this business because you're going to naturally want to share them with friends and family. I
We
share them
find
with my doctor. I share them with everyone that'll listen. And some people who don't want to listen, but they get to anyway.
we find money for whatever we find is important. I mean, and obviously our health is number one. It can wipe out anything. It can wipe us out financially, wipe out a marriage, wipe out a million things. So I think that's very important.
True.
And speaking of finance, lastly, not only is this a wellness product, but this can also be a financial opportunity by becoming a Lifewave brand partner. How has this been for you, and how can others get started with you?
It's been a very interesting journey. From the moment I unintentionally became involved, a lot of life has happened, and so I have not been able to focus as much on this as I am doing this calendar year. But it has still been the benefits from a personal perspective, from the relationships that I've made, the people that I've helped. Um, and like as I mentioned now, here we are 6 years, coming up on 6 years since X39 was launched in the market. And we had the company itself grew 600% in those 6 years. So phenomenal growth. And what we do next is going to be incredible. So we're considered the fastest growing company in the world. And I'm not even sure that's isolated to direct sales, but there's never been a more significant financial opportunity.
Yeah,
And as you said, your health is your greatest wealth.
very
So
exciting.
if you want to be, if you want to be healthy and live a fulfilling life in retirement or even earlier than that, it's not too early to start. I use this technology on my grandkids.
Yep.
They have trouble with their attention, and I mean, they sleep better when they're at our house. They don't wander around and go into the refrigerator at night like they do when they're at home. So, I have another interesting story about helping Dr. Pole heal an animal that had gotten into some bacon and ate the entire package. So there's just been all kinds of wonderful stories and wonderful opportunities, and I just know that the future is bright. It's very, very exciting about what we're going to do next.
I think you've just been enjoying the product itself and you're excited to share it with others. Yet, if somebody wants to focus on the business side, obviously this is a business that is poised for success, definitely growing all the time. Julie, you married the love of your life. You traveled and lived around the world. You have leveraged your experiences into a meaningful business that allows you to help people improve their health and ultimately their lives. Is this rewarding work for you?
It is enormously rewarding. Um, you know, I know I've worked 40 years in telecom at the same company, and to now be partnered with a servant leader, a God-fearing man who developed this safe, effective technology because he wanted to do well in the world, not just do good, but to do well because, he's a phenomenal humanitarian. We've done great things in the community and with veterans and with the fires in LA and the fire in Lahaina. There's just the list just goes on and on. So it is enormously rewarding. Um, you know, I've loved this industry my whole life, but this really feels like home. It's a great community of really just people who care about other people.
Yeah.
And one doctor in our company says, once you realize what this product can do, it's criminal not to share it.
Wow. Fantastic. And you witnessed it firsthand on the pillow right next to you. And so, like they said, if it can help just one person, it's phenomenal. You've witnessed that. Viewers, let's take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is the website where you can see all of the Lifewave products. If you're ready to begin living younger today, I mean, it's easy. Patch up and wear your wellness. Once again, that is Lifewave, harnessing your body's natural restorative energy and enhancing your ability to live well. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.